this idea that's going around amongst the spiritual community nowadays, which I feel is very unfortunate, that you don't need an enlightened teacher. Enlightenment is within you. You don't need a teacher. You don't need someone to help support you, to raise your consciousness, to point out the pitfalls on the path. I feel like that's a very unfortunate message that people are spreading around. Because it's very difficult to see past delusion when your whole life is a delusion. It's very difficult to understand the true nature of that presence until you actually connect to that presence. It's a very slow and arduous path to do it on your own. We see the placebo effect has, a certain amount of power in our lives, and there's a reason. Our minds can truly persuade us of anything. So, how can we really trust and rely on ourselves if it was true that an enlightened teacher wasn't necessary to become enlightened yourself, or at least a very vital part? Maybe it's possible without, but it's a much more difficult path. If that was truly the case, that you really don't need anyone and it's far easier without, then everybody who didn't have an enlightened teacher would be enlightened. Because you don't need one. You're fully competent on your own. Everybody who doesn't have an enlightened teacher should all be enlightened, or a vast majority of them anyway, if it's that easy. Use common sense. Higher consciousness comes with a great amount of common sense and practicality because it excludes desire and delusion. It yields practical thinking and practical outcomes in our lives. And if there's anything from all the science we've done is show you the practical outcome of connecting with someone who has that enlightened consciousness, who has that connection to the divine and is able to connect you to that presence as well. If there's anything that shows it, right, we see the impact of the invisible on the visible all around us through all of our 6,000 scientific studies and our 670 peer reviewed publications. It's authentic, it's real. And eventually, you can go to a point on the path where you don't even need a teacher anymore. When you become enlightened yourself, you are independent now. You don't need anything or anyone outside of yourself. But until then, it really works to have some help, right? We want to learn anything in life. We get sources of knowledge from places outside of ourselves. If we want to learn how to be a CPA, if we want to learn how to, become a lawyer and everything, everybody relies on somebody outside of themselves. Everybody uses the internet, which where do you think that knowledge comes from? You think it just creates itself? It comes from other people. It comes from connecting with somebody who knows more, who's done the work before you have, who's gained the wisdom and the clarity and the power of the experience itself. I don't want to gain wisdom and knowledge from my own state of consciousness. It's already available to me right now. I want somebody who can perceive life from a higher dimension than whatever I can possibly even imagine. I want to start from there. I want those advantages. I am spiritually selfish. I want to take advantage of whatever I can, whatever's available to me. I want to gain as much wisdom and love within my own heart. I've heard many of you say, it's not possible for me this lifetime. I'm too old, or I'm too low in consciousness, or I'm too far gone, or it's just too hard. And that's very unfortunate as well, because ultimately, though you might not be able to take your finances with you, you might not be able to take your family or your relationships or your successes with you. What do you take with you? Your consciousness. However, you've led your life up until now and continue to do so until the day you leave this planet affects your consciousness. And whatever your consciousness, the sum total of that consciousness, the sum total that is you, whatever is within your heart, when you die, that carries forward. And in that bardo of existence, in that limbo, up until the point where you get another rebirth or you continue on somewhere else, if you think that that place of existence is sympathetic, is going to have mercy on you, think again. Whatever's here within your consciousness, within your heart, there is no sympathy for what you're going to carry into your next lifetime. Whatever you carry forward, that's it. So even if you're maybe 80, 90, 100 years old, I don't care how far gone you think you are, or how far lost you are, or how much life you think you have left in you, or whatever you think you're capable of. Why not do the best you can right now, knowing that? Knowing that death is not a reset, like what I've heard some people say, that death is a reset. You could start again, try things new. No, that's not the case. Whatever you die with, you carry with you. It continues. The confusion, the lower planes of consciousness, those states of mind, all of those things, the sum total, the aggregate selves that you are now, they continue forward. But also know that they are in your power to dissolve and to control. Right here, right now. And it doesn't take a lifetime. Even a year is enough time to make dramatic shifts in your consciousness and your awareness and your happiness.